Hey guys, welcome to another beer review. Got another beer from Zombräu here in Germany. A craft brewery that I've heard of plenty of times. I've drank a couple of their beers. Well, drank a few of them, reviewed a couple on YouTube already. And they're available in Birretta. Pretty much their whole range, I think, aside from some like special like one-offs and barrel-aged stuff potentially. And they're really cheap actually, which is good. So it's like, why not just give them a try? You're not spending that much, and if you end up really enjoying one, and it's a really good example of the style, then for at least now, I've got a good source of potentially really good beers. My experience with Zombräu has been kind of mixed. Pretty much above board brewery. I've not had anything like that's blown my mind, and I think I've only had one or two beers that they've done that have been like, eh. But aside from that, very solid beers, and for the price, I'm not going to complain. So yeah, it's an absolutely muggy day outside. Always seem to have washing hanging up in the apartment. It's like overcast, it's rainy, but because it's been warm every now and then, it's really muggy outside. So it's like ugh. And yeah, that's why I look like a mess. But thankfully today I'm getting this trimmed and hopefully having this cut off. But yeah, just been doing some stuff in the bathroom. No, nothing like that. Just been because little arsehole here. He seems to have potentially just pissed somewhere in the bathroom because it's got like a really almost pungent smell of cat pee. So I was like in there, just giving floor swipe, looking in all the corners. There's a little box okay, and it was the bin that we put the cat litter stuff in. Just absolutely reeked. So I've instantly taken that off, and yeah, just I'm in the need for a beer, and this one is a quite a light one actually, to be honest. So I'm intrigued by that already. So yeah, this is Voodoo, which is described as a pale ale. So this is clocking in at a ever so powerful 3.7% in a 330ml bottle. Best before date is 20th of the 10th, 2017. Doesn't tell you what hops are in there, which is always a shame. But I do like that artwork. Pretty damn cool. And yeah, very vibrant, very in your face. And yeah, there is the Zombräu crown, which I really do like. So I'll put the playlist down below so you can check out my other views so far of this beer, this brewery. Check out Birretta as well, that sort of stuff. Not getting too much on the neck of the bottle, but we're going to just pour it in anyway. Now, I've had, again, quite mixed experiences when it comes to the rarely session strength pale ales and IPAs, particularly here in Germany. Some of them have been really good, but then you get some where they're like just way too thin. You don't get like that full flavour of the hop. You just get that like residual, like hop oil bitterness sort of thing, which sort of makes it taste like when you've got like hand soap in your mouth, like a grapefruit hand soap or dishwash soap or something like that. And yeah, so I'm intrigued to see how this one turns out. Bit of an odd, yeah, my mind's going everywhere, to be honest. So, as one would expect, a little bit clear. There is some haze in there, don't get me wrong. And there is a nice amount of carbonation going up to that 3 fingers worth of a slightly off-white head. Quite a mixture of compact bubbles with the odd big bubble here and there. But yeah, this got sort of like a rustic look to it. Almost reminds me of going on to a Märzen style beer in terms of its colour. Nice sort of dark orangey tones, and it gets a little bit more faint towards the bottom of the glass, but I am attributing that to the style of glass. And yeah, it's a really nice looking beer, but I don't know, it looks sort of reminds me of like a British sort of session golden ale or something like that. Anyway, let's see what we get on the aroma. And look at that head, it's like my stomach is just wobbling around everywhere. Let's give it a sniff. And yeah, you get that gentle hop bitterness, like hop character in there. It does have that slightly soapy aroma to it. I'd hazard a guess at saying something along the lines of Citra or a Cascade, maybe. I mean, the head could be preventing a lot of that flavour coming out, but yeah, you get that sort of like a resiny, jelly sweet sort of aroma. Like Skittles, maybe. And then like this slight toffee note in the background. But yeah, it does smell quite light, if that makes sense. Anyway, what aromas are there are nice. It's a very pleasant smelling beer, but it just does smell a little bit toned down. And I think I'd expect this is a somewhat fresh bottle with a best before date of October, and we're coming towards the mid of May as I'm recording this. But yeah, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Interesting. Still got a relatively light body to it. Gesundheit. But it is a little bit heavier than I was expecting. It's got this weird thing. It's like the carbonation. As soon as it goes to your mouth, it just like fizzles away almost. And it doesn't leave it too watery. Quite dry on the back end, it has to be said. And you are predominantly getting that like the bitter characters from the hops, as opposed to like those grapefruit flavors. I mean, yeah, it does taste like you've got a really like a not concentrate, but like a very bitter grapefruit juice, where you're not getting like the fruit flavor as much. You're just getting this harsh bitterness, and you're getting that with this. And it's got this like real earthiness to it as well. A little bit twiggy. And yeah, it does to me. It tastes like a... Oh god. Did I apologise to then? Yeah, let's see if we can keep you there. Yeah, it tastes to me, it's very British on the flavour. Like, you get that hop there, slight citrus tone, a little bit of grapefruit, but it's a little bit more aggressive on the bitterness as well, compared to like a British pale ale or a golden ale. But I don't know if it is intended to be like a British inspired pale ale, or if it's going for an American one. So it's more leaning on like the West Coast style, if it were. But yeah, it's just like this piney, bitter harshness that I'm getting that leaves you a little bit dry. But it's not an unpleasant or bad beer by any stretch. It's just, I don't know, it just seems to be maybe lacking something. And I think that the ABV doesn't help either. I mean, if it's a hot day, I mean, these guys are going to be at the Craft Beer Festival. If I wanted a good sessionable beer just to maybe cleanse my palate or drink before going to another brewery, then this is one that I'd be happy enough to walk around with, soak up the sun, drink it, and then get your next beer, that sort of thing. I don't know if I could session on it, because it gets a little bit acidic from that bitterness. And that's the sensation that I'm getting, like a little sting at the back of my throat. But it's got a little bit more oomph to it than some pale ales that are at this ABV. But yeah, it's not really doing it for me, if that makes sense. But I needed that beer just to cleanse me and just sit back with. Very drinkable, very crisp. It's very, very crisp. And that dryness helps with that. It's just... It doesn't help the cause of session strength beers. That's what I'm going to say about it. And for like the €1.92, I think that I paid for it. Yeah, I don't feel like I've wasted my money or anything like that. But I don't know. I'd like to see if this beer could evolve a little bit. See if they could enhance it or be a little bit more aggressive on the hop character, or maybe bunk up the ABV a little bit. Just add a little bit more oomph to it. So in terms of a rating then on Zombräu's Voodoo Pale Ale, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I love that label though, really do enjoy that label. And you know what? There's more beers of theirs in Birretta as I'm speaking. And it would be awesome to pick them all up and throw your bottle caps on the floor and that sort of stuff and try them again. And yeah, maybe I can hopefully meet these guys at the festival and share a beer with them. So yeah, if you've tried this one, as always, let me know your thoughts, opinions. A little bit of a long video. I apologise. I'm not really in the mood recently of editing stuff, so you're getting it as it is. But I think a lot of people actually prefer that. It's a bit more natural and, you know, a bit more honest. And it's a lot more easier for me. Yeah, so Zombräu, check out my playlist. Check out Birretta. Check out the Craft Beer Festival. Check out my session Pale Ale and IPA playlist for some more examples of the style. And yeah, what's some of your favourite examples of the style? Just hit me up in the comments. And yeah, I've waffled on for way too long. Jeannie should be home any minute now. And I've got burgers to cook. So happy days. See you later, guys.